Holiday. Chapter 1. "What on earth are those?" asked Dad, pointing at my breakfast bowl one of grey and gloomy morning. They looked completely disgusting. My dad is a vampire, and he only likes food if it's red. "They're rainbow loopy-loops," I told him. "Everyone in my class is eating them. They're yummy." Said Mom, spooning some flower nature yogurts into her own bowl. "They might be yummy, but they don't look very natural. My mom is a fairy and loves eating fresh fruit and flowers." "Well, you said I could have them," I pointed out. "Yesterday in the human supermarket you said I could have them because I tidied my room." "I know," said Mom, "but I didn't think you'd actually like them." "Mine!" shouted my baby little sister, Honeyblossom, from her high chair, and reached out her hands for a loopy-loop. Honeyblossom is a vampire fairy just like me, but she's not old enough for loopy-loops. I moved the box in front of my bowl so that she couldn't see them anymore. Now she couldn't see me either, and I couldn't see her, or Mom and Dad. I munched happily on the rest of my breakfast and started at the back of the box, which was decorated all over with rainbows and unicorns. One of the unicorns was wearing a pair of sunglasses and eating ice cream. There was a big speech bubble coming out of his mouth which said, "Win a family beach holiday offered, free flight and hotel." Then there was some information below about how to enter. You have to draw a picture of your favorite teddy on the beach and post it off. That would be fun. I drew Pink Rabbit. I felt a shiver of excitement run through me. A family holiday. A word! I had never stayed in a human hotel before or been in a plane. It would be a great surprise for Mom and Dad. As soon as breakfast was over, I ran to my bedroom and drew my picture. I got off my collection of shells from when we had gone camping and laid them around Pink Rabbit so that we could pretend he was on the beach. Pink Rabbit struck a pose and I tried really hard to copy it, sticking sequins and glitter onto my finished drawing. It took me ages. Then, when it was finished, I put my picture in an envelope and slipped it into my school bag. I will put it in the post box on my way to school in the morning. The next day at school, I told my friends what I had done. None of them seemed quite excited as I thought they would be. "I've entered loads of those type of competition before," said Bruno. "I've never won anything." "Me neither," said Sashi. "Don't get your hopes up, Isadora," said Oliver. "You probably won't win." "Oh," I said, feeling disappointed. My head had been so full of sandy beaches, blue sparkling seas, and ice cream that the thought of not winning hadn't even occurred to me. But of course my friends were right. It was very unlikely. Joey put her arm around me. "Good luck anyway," she said. "You never know what will happen. I won a 10-pound voucher to spend at the toy shop once." "Thanks, Joey." I smiled, but the idea of a bright and sunny holiday abroad was already starting to feel very far away, and by the end of the day I had forgotten all about it. 3 weeks later, I was busy painting pictures with Pink Rabbit at the kitchen table when I heard my dad come downstairs from his daily sleep. "What's this?" I heard him say. And then, "What is this? Cordelia, Cordelia, come here." I jumped from my chair and ran into the hallway, with my mom and Honeyblossom following close behind. We all peered at the letter that Dad was holding in his hands. "It says we won the competition," said Dad, looking wild. "A board!" "What?" said Mom. "They must have made a mistake. We didn't enter a competition." "I did," I squealed excitedly. My heart felt as though it was about to burst out from my chest. "I entered it, and we won. I couldn't believe it." Mom and Dad both stared down at me, their eyes wide with surprise. "We're going on a plane," I said breathlessly, "and to the beach." "The beach?" said Dad, looking nervous now. "Oh no, I can't go to the beach. It's too hot for me there. Too hot, too sticky, and too bright. No, 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 my eyes weren't able to take it." "It says we will be staying in a hotel," said Mom, sounding equally concerned. She fluttered her hands worriedly, and glitter pink fairy flower puffed into the air from the cake she had been baking. "Do we have to stay in a hotel?" she said. "I find them so unnatural and boxy. I'd rather camp." But Dad has perked up a bit now. "Is it a pencil town?" he asked, peering at the letter. "Will there be a spa?" "There is a spa." "And I bet there will be red ice creams to cool you down, Dad," I said. "And Mom and Honey Blossom and I can spend all day swimming in the beach and playing on the sand. Isn't that true?" "Well," said Mom, "that does sound quite nice. I suppose I can put up with a hotel for a week if I must." "Yay!" I shouted and danced around both my parents until I was dizzy. Chapter 2. "You can't take all that," said Mom, gathering at the five-packed suitcase by Dad's feet on the morning of our holidays. "I need it all," insisted Dad, "and all my grooming products are in here, and the Factor 16 sun cream." "They won't let you on the plane with all that," said Mom. "There's luggage allowance, remember. It says so on the ticket." "Humph," said Dad. "I still don't see why we have to go to the plane. We could have gone in a flying vampire taxi." "But we want free plane flights," said Mom, "and it will be fun to have a full human holiday experience." "Humph," said Dad again, but he opened his suitcase and began to take things out, humping and puffing the whole time. "You don't need much for a beach holiday," said Mom, patting her small neatly packed handbag. "All I'm taking is my swimming costume, some sunglasses, and a flower crown." When Dad had finished condensing his 5 suitcases into one, we left the house and drove to the airport. I have never been to an airport before, and I felt the butterfly of excitement flutter in my tummy as we neared the glooming metal building. "Almost touristy," thought Mom. Through the fence in the car park I could see planes. Some aren't moving and some were just taking off or coming into the land. I haven't realized how quite big they would be in real life. "Wow," I said, starting up at the sky with my mouth open. "Quite something," said Dad, starting up at me. "They do look silk and swish, don't they? Maybe I'm quite excited about going on a plane after all." We hurried into the airport, and to an old desk where a lady wearing lots of lipstick looked at our passport and weighed our suitcase. "You can go through the security now," she said, as our suitcase disappeared around the conveyor belt. "That way, please." And she pointed towards a sign that said Gate 23. "Where's my suitcase going?" said Dad. He sounded worried. Will I get it back?" "Of course," smiled the lady. "You will see it again at the other end." We followed the lady's direction and walked towards the other conveyor belt. We had to put our hand luggage onto it and then walk through a metal detector. "This is a load of fact and nonsense," said Dad. "Just to fly in the sky." He walked through a metal detector and it beeped loudly. "Have you got any metal on you, sir?" said a friendly-looking man wearing an airport uniform. "Jewelry item? A belt? Of course. I'm wearing a belt," said Dad. "My best belt for traveling." He opened up his cape to reveal a wide belt with a big silver buckle on front of it. Around it hung many small items: a pair of nail scissors, an emergency sewing kit, a penknife, a tube of hair gel, a bottle of red juice, a blindfold, and some earplugs. It's got everything I will need for the flight, said Dad. We vampires use these all the time for long-distance flying. I'm afraid the rules are a bit different on our plane, said the security guard, and he took away the penknife, the red juice, the sewing kit, and the scissors. Dad stared, baffled. I don't understand human travel at all, he said. We got through the rest of the security and came out in a big waiting area that had lots of shops in it. While we wait for our flight, Mom gave Honey Blossom her pink milk and I followed Dad into one of the shops. After shelves, exclaimed Dad, and set about spraying himself with all sorts of different scents from the test bottles. I joined in too, admiring all the pretty perfumes and giving them a sniff. Suddenly there was an announcement over a loudspeaker. Flight number 2834 is over now, it said. Please go to the gate 23. That's us, said Dad excitedly. The plane seemed enormous up close, and it made a loud humming sound as we stepped on board. A lady wearing a shiny high heel peeled at our board passes. Welcome, she said. Your seats are over there. And she pointed to a row of three seats halfway down the plane. I ran over and squeezed in, settling down by a little oval-shaped window with Pink Rabbit on my lap so that he could see out. We could see a man down below loading all the suitcases into the plane. Once everyone sit down, the lady with the high heel stood up and waved her arms about, telling us where the exits were in case of an emergency. I noticed that Dad started to tap his foot on the floor nervously. It's okay, Dad, I said. A plane is actually one of the safest ways to travel. Miss Cherry told me. Really? Said Dad. He stopped tapping and looked a bit happier. Then something rumbled underneath us and we started to move. I watched out of the window as we lowered along the tarmac and over the long stretch of runway. We began to speed up, zooming faster and faster until suddenly we aren't on the ground anymore. We're lifting up into the air. I started in wonder as the ground got farther and farther away, and the buildings and cars below turned into tiny little dots. We broke through the clouds and I realized that I have never been so high up before. The clouds looked like soft fluffy blankets from above, and I wished I could leap out of the plane to go and bounce to them. Gosh, said Mom, we are so high. I've never flown above the clouds before. Isn't it the world beautiful? I stared out of the window until it got to a right, and then I opened my backpack and got out my coloring book. I began to color. A lady came round and asked us if we want drink. Red juice for me, thank you, said Dad, and was very pleased when the lady handed him a glass of tomato juice. I'm glad to see that they are incorporated for vampires here, he said. It felt very nice to sitting where they're next to Mom and Dad, high above the clouds with my coloring book, apple juice, and Pink Rabbit. I spent a happy hour coloring it, and Dad and I had finished. I put my book into my bag and poked Dad. Are we nearly there? I asked. Nearly, he said. Only 2 hours to go. 2 hours, I said. That's ages. Honey Blossom started to grizzle, and the 2 hours went by very slowly. I played a game of knots and crossed with Mom, and looked in fright imagined with Dad. And then, at last the voice came over the loudspeaker to tell us to put our seatbelts back on because we were about to land. I watched out the windows as we went back down to the clouds and towards a blue sparkling sea and white sandy beaches below. Look, I said, Mom, Dad, it's the sea. Then I felt a big bump of a wheel of the plane hit the tarmac of runway. And in front of us stood another airboat gleaming silver in the bright sunshine. Right, said Mom, once we were off the plane and we had to get our suitcase back. Time to find a taxi. We made our way back to the airport and walked into a bright sunshine outside. My eyes, cried Dad, developing into his suitcase for his sunglasses and pointed his pointed black parasol. It was very hot outside, hotter than I had ever felt before. Wow, I said, stepping into the shade of Dad's umbrella. I'm half vampire after all. Mom opened her arms and closed her eyes, patting her face to the sky. Glorious, she said. I do love so sunshine. Summer fairies are like flowers, you know. Quick, said Dad, as sweat began to pour down his face. Let's get into taxi. We struck out his arms and hailed one and we were all bundled into it. Immediately Dad got out Factor 60 sun cream and began to slaughter me all. You too, Isadora, he said. It's our only protection. The taxi moved off and I looked out of the window at our surroundings. The buildings all looked different from the ours at home, and there was palm trees all along the sides of the roads. How lovely! Exclaimed the Mom, as the taxi stopped outside the large hotel in front of the beach. Here we are, said Mom. Dad leaped out and scurried up the stairs of the hotel to stand in the shade of the doorway. It was too much cooler inside the hotel, and there was a big reception desk at the side of the circle room with a marble floor. A nice man helped us carry our suitcase upstairs and showed us to our room. This is very nice, said Mom, and look at this view. I can't look at any more nice, said Dad, lying down on his bed and putting his head on his forehead. My poor vampire eyes needs to rest. Can you go to the beach? I asked, jumping up and down. Please, 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 please. I opened my suitcase and began pulling on my swimming costume. Look, I said, I'm ready. All right, Mom laughed. We go to the beach and Dad can stay here for the rest. Dad peeped one eye behind his hands. I might go to the spa, he said weakly. Chapter 3. Mom, Honey Vixen and I made our way out of the hotel and across the road to the beach. It was covered in sun loungers and umbrellas. There was food stall nearby too, so Mom bought us some lunch and an ice cream. We found a nice spot on the beach and put our towels down. I licked my ice cream and wiggled my toes in the warm sand while Mom changed Honey Blossom into our swimming costume. Isn't it nice, Mom? I said. It's lovely, Isadora, said Mom. Well done for winning competition. But there was a tone to her voice that made me think she wasn't completely happy. I started around at all the people on the beach lying on their sunloungers, playing and eating snacks. There were a lot of them. Maybe it was too busy for her to hear. Shall we go swimming? Mom asked. Come on, the sea looks sparkling. She picked up Honey Blossom and we made our way over the crystal clear water, stopping to pick up an old empty crisp bucket that was lying on the sand. Such a shame, thought Mom, as she scrunched it up and put it in the bin later. We paddled into the sea and splashed about for a while. I put my snorkel and dipped my head under the water so that I could see little silvery fish darting about, and twinkle fish shells lying on a rippity sand. I could see something else too, a plastic ring with a dinosaur on it. I reached out and grabbed it, holding it up in the air to Mom to see. Look, I said, treasure. Then I slipped it onto my finger and admired it in the sunshine. Mom looked a bit troubled. It's not really treasure, she said. It's litter. Just then we heard the sound of music coming across the water, and we turned round to see a big boat floating above the water. There were people in it who looked as though they were having a lot of fun. The boat came in near to the beach and stopped. Some of the people began to jumping off the side of the boat, making big splashes in the water. Then I noticed the slide coming back from the boat, making big splashes in the water. Some of the people began to jump off the sides of the boat, making big splashes in the water. Then I noticed the slide coming off the back of the boat. People were whizzing down into the water, shrieking and laughing. On the side of the boat was a big sign saying, "Book your tour now." Can we go on the boat? I asked Mom. Please, Dad will be able to come. He can stay in the cabin. I don't see why not, said Mom. We can book it when we get back to the hotel. A boat ride? Said Dad, looking dubious. He was lying on a big double bed in our room with two cucumber slices on top of his eyes. Yes, I said. We booked only for tomorrow. It looks like a nice tour, said Mom. The boat is going to take us around all the little beaches and islands nearby. I'm hoping to see some unspoiled scenery. I don't know, said Dad. I've already got a message and a face field booked for tomorrow at the spa. Oh, please come, Dad, I said. I want to show you how good I am at the underwater swimming. And don't worry about the sunshine. You'll be able to stay in the cabin. Well, all right, said Dad. I suppose I don't want to miss on a family trip with my family. And I would so like to see you underwater swimming, Isadora. Next morning, after we had eaten breakfast at the hotel, we made our way around the lows to a plain where the boat was docked. A friendly man in a pirate hat showed us over. We were offered brightly colored drinks with steam fruit and shiny umbrella in them. Yum, I said. Said Dad, sipping on at his own bright red cocktail. When the people had come over, the engine started to rumble and we were off. I ran onto the top deck and peered over the railing at the sparkling aqua blue sea below. This is the life, said Mom, closing her eye and letting the wind ruffle her riot pink hair. We soon stopped in a deserted little cove a little way down the coastline, and I watched the man in the pirate hat drop the anchor into the sea. Then everyone started jumping in and swimming about in the clear, glassy water. What just I was hoping to see, smiled Mom, gazing at the cove with its rugged rock and beautiful white sand. Someone spoiled nature. I want to go on the slide, I yelled, racing towards the back of the boat and leaping onto it. Wee! I went all the way down and splashed into the sea. Good job, Isadora, said Dad from the cabin window. I might have a dip myself. I threw water and watched as Dad came whooshing down the slide too. How refreshing, he said, and he began to fast front crawl around the boat. I followed him, splashing in the waves and holding my breath so that I could dip my head under the water. It was like a different world. Everything was blue and hazy. I could see a lake from other people above the water and the black shadow of the boat on the sand. And there was something else too, something shimmery moving about behind the rock in the hazy distance. It seemed familiar. What could it be? I didn't want to swim too far away from the boat, so I climbed back up the ladder and to the top deck of the boat where I peered inside the ocean below. It was hard to see anything with the sun reflecting off the water, so I shook my wings strong and then flapped into the air, and over the rock which was a little way away. Peering behind it, I could see the shimmery thing again. It was gleaming and glittering, and it came up towards the surface of the water. My heart started to beat fast, and I flapped my wings and rose higher into the air, and the thing burst into a shower of salt and scales. Isadora, I cried. I thought I recognized you. It was Marina the mermaid. I had met Marina once before when we had been on a camp holiday on the beach, but that had been much nearer to where we lived. Marina, I said, What are you doing here? I was going to ask you the same thing, said Marina. We're on holiday, I said. I won a competition. We're on a holiday too, said Marina. How funny. She laughed, and it sounded like a string of shells tinkling in the bridge. It's nice to see you again, she said. Where is Pink Rabbit? He's on the boat, I said. He doesn't like the water. Oh, yeah, said Marina. I remember. Where are you staying? I asked. I didn't know mermaids went on holiday. Of course we go on holiday, said Marina. We like to visit warmer waters every now and then. There are mermaids hotels in different parts of the sea all over the world, you know. Really? I gasped. I'd love to see one. Maybe I could take you underwater again like last time, said Marina, and her eyes started to twinkle. I could give you another seashell necklace to help you breathe underwater. You can come and meet my mom and dad, and my new pet sea unicorn. A sea unicorn? Yes, it's like a seahorse but a unicorn. She's called Okia. Oh, I replied. That's really pretty. Okia nodded happily. I think Okia and Pink Rabbit would get on, she said. You should definitely visit. How about tomorrow? Where are you staying? I could come and meet you at the beach. We're on the Hotel Magnificent, I said, round the Pearl Cove. Ah, yes, said Marina. My parents and I swam there yesterday to explore. It's very busy, isn't it? We didn't stay long. There were too many people and too much rubbish lying under the water. It made us sad. I guess it is very busy there, I said, crunching up my hands so that Marina couldn't see my dinosaur ring. Is there really a lot of litter under the water then? Yes, said Marina. Unfortunately, we tried to clear some of it away, but we can't take it up the land. We don't have legs. Oh, I said, but I have legs. Why don't I come and help? You could pass the rubbish to me, and I could take it up to the beach and clear the way. That sounds like a great plan, said Marina. Just at the moment, I heard my name being called from the boat. Isadora, where are you? It was Mom, and she sounded panicked. Quickly, I poked my head up from the behind the rocks and waved. I'm here, I called. What are you doing all the way over there? Shouted Mom. Come back now, please. The boat is about to leave. Okay, coming. Then I turned back to Marina. I have to go, I said, but when can we meet again? 3 minutes, said Marina, then and dipped down into the sea, coming back up with something in her hands. It was a big crouch shell. You can use this to talk to me, she said, holding it out for me to take. Just put it into your ear. You will hear the sea. Then she waved goodbye and flicked up her pigtail, disappeared back to the water. Flapped my wings and flew back over the boat. What are you doing? Said Mom. What were you doing? Said Mom when I landed on the deck. She sounded a bit cross. You should never ever disappear off without telling us where you're going, especially when we're in for agent's country or in a dangerous place like the sea. I'm sorry, I said. I forgot. We were very worried for a moment, said Dad. I know, I said. I'm really sorry. I won't do it again. I promise. Chapter 4. For the rest of the day, I kept the shell close to me, hoping that Marina would call. At last, when I was snuggled up in my hotel bed with Pink Rabbit snoozing beside me, I heard a whispery little voice coming from inside the shell. Hello, it said. Isadora, are you there? I'm here, I whispered excitedly, pulling my covers over my head and hoping that Mom and Dad wouldn't hear me. They were brushing their teeth in the in-suitcase bedroom. Isadora, I've got a problem, came Marina's voice. I need you to come quickly. What problem? I asked. My heart started beating fast. There's no time to explain, said Marina. I need you to bring your wand. Can you come? I said, starting to panic. I knew that Mom and Dad wouldn't let me go out to the beach on my own. But Marina sounded desperate. I don't know, I said. Please, begged Marina. I found a baby turtle, but he's stuck. I need your fairy magic. Oh no, I said, immediately jumping up out of bed. I couldn't bear to think of a poor baby turtle in trouble. I stuffed my pillow under my duvet to make it look like as though I was in bed with Pink Rabbit, and then sneaked past the bedroom door and out of the room, half running and half flying down the stairs of the hotel. It wasn't long at all before I was on the beach and peering out to sea, trying to spot Marina. It felt strange to be there in the dark and quiet. There was no people about, and the all long sunloggers had been stocked away. The sun shone bright and white under the light with the big full moon. Suddenly there was a ripping in the water and a head popped out of the moonlight. It was Marina. "Hello," I called, and flew over to where she was bobbing in the sea. "Thank goodness you came," said Marina. "Thank you." She held out a pearl shell necklace for me to put on. "Like last time," she said. "It will help you breathe underwater." I slipped the necklace over my head and followed Marina, sinking down into the inky blackness of the sea. The farther down we went, the lighter it seemed to get. All around us, jellyfish shone with their own iridescent light, and the coral on the seabed seemed to glow. But as I gazed around at our beautiful underwater surroundings, I saw that something was not quite right. There was things glittering and shimmering amongst the seaweed and shells on the seabed, but they were things that were not meant to be there. I could see an empty tea can, an old plastic cup, a lid from the top of the sun cream bottle, a long piece of fishing wire waving in the current. None of this was treasure, it was litter. Marina swam over to the clump of seaweeds and there that was jerked about in gentle party. "Look," she said, "among the frond of was a little baby turtle stuck in tangle of fish wire." "I just can't untangle it," said Marina, "and it's too tight to cut. The line is already digging into his leg." I felt my whole throat tighten. It was horrible to see such a beautiful creature looking so helpless. I took my wand out of my pocket and waved it in the water. Bubbles came out and covered the little turtle, breaking the fish line in the place where it was tightened around his legs. As soon as he was free, the little turtle began to paddle upwards, swimming round and round in circles, a little lopsidedly. "I think his leg is still hurt," said Marina. "The fishing wire must have been very tight." She reached out and scooped up the little turtle, holding him close to her chest. "Let's look after him," she said. "Until his leg is better, let's take him back to the Mermaid Hotel. You can meet Okia." "I'd love that," I said. Together we swam deeper into the sea until we came to a building fashioned completely from shells and decorated all over with pearls. Marina led me inside, past the desk with a mermaid sitting behind it, and down a winding corridor. "This is our room," she said, pushing open a door and motioning for me to follow her. "These are my parents." A mermaid and merman were both sitting in a huge shell-shaped bed. The merman was reading a copy of the Underwater Times, and the mermaid was busy brushing her hair. Bobbing round both their heads was a small sea unicorn, who came dashing over a nosy Marina as soon as she entered the room. "Hello, Kia," said Marina, patting her gently. "Dad, this is my friend I was telling you about. Mom, this is Isadora." "Isadora," said the mermaid, and stopped brushing her hair immediately. "We've heard a lot about you." "We have," said the merman. "Jiggling jellyfish. I've never met a vampire fairy before. Do come in." I followed Marina into the room and watched as she pulled the baby turtle gently down onto her bed. Okia, the sparkling sea unicorn, came swimming up to me, blowing star-shaped bubble out into the water. Marina's mom made us some sea tea and put some octopus-shaped biscuits on the plate. Isadora says she can help clear away the rubbish on the seabed, said Marina. That's great, said Marina's dad. We could really do some help with people with legs. I think I can help, I said, munching one of the biscuits. It was delicious, if a bit dumb. What do you mean? Asked Marina. Well, I said, I didn't recognize how much rubbish there was. I think we might need more help than just me. Oh, said Marina's mom, sounding worried. Who can we ask? We can't trust the humans. My mom and dad, I said. I'm sure they would love to help. I will ask them tomorrow. Chapter 5. The next morning at breakfast, I told Mom and Dad all about Marina and her family. Fancy, said Dad. I didn't know mermaids were still about. Of course they are, said Mom. I used to follow mermaids all the time as a young fairy whenever we visited the beach. You did? I said in surprise. I didn't know that. Oh, yes, said Mom. I had a mermaid pen friend back in the day. I used to write her letters on a waterproof paper. But never mind that for a moment. Isadora, it was very wrong of you to sneak out in the middle of the night without telling us. Yes, agreed Dad, looking stern. We already told you that yesterday. I'm sorry, I said. I really didn't mean to do it again. Marina need my fairy magic. It was very kind of you to help the turtle, said Dad. But you should have asked us to come with you. It can be dangerous to go out on your own. How did you get back in the hotel? I flew through the window, I said. Said Mom. I was just so worried about the turtle, I said. I didn't think properly. Well, said Mom, just don't do it again, or I will confiscate your wand for a week. I won't, I promised. I really won't. So will you come and help clear up the ocean tonight? Of course, said Mom. We'd love to. That night, Mom, Dad, Honeyblossom, Pink Rabbit, and I stood on the beach and waited for Marina and her parents to appear. So much nicer to go on the beach at night, said Dad, without all that horrible sunshine. I like sunshine, said Mom, but I do agree that it's much more peaceful right now without all the people. We waited for a few more minutes and then a little splash appeared in the ocean, and three heads bobbed up out of the water. We flew over to them, waving. Hello, called Mom. It's lovely to meet you. And you, smiled Marina's parents. Marina handed Mom and Dad a special shell necklace. Put them on, she said, and you'll be able to breathe and talk on the water. Will it stop me getting wet? Asked Dad. I've only just gelled my hair into a perfect blink. I'm afraid not, said Marina. Pink Rabbit started to look worried. He hates getting wet. Pink Rabbit can go inside the bubble, said Marina, and splashing about in the water until it filled up with bubbles. Then she put one on her finger and blew on it so that it got bigger and bigger. Mermaid magic, she said with a wink. Humph, said Dad. I don't see why I can't have a bubble too. But Marina and her parents had already dipped back down under the water. I sank down too and began to swim, following Marina and her parents into their magical underwater world. It's stunning down here, said Mom, and her hair waved about her like the tendril of a pink sea anemones. But I can't see your problem. There's rubbish everywhere. Such a shame. It is, said Marina's mom, but I think we can all do something about it. I'm going to get all our mermaid friends to help too. We will gather up the rubbish and bring it to you above the surface. Then you can fly with it back to land. It's going to be a big job and will probably take us the rest of the night. That's okay, said Dad. I'm used to being awake during the night. And I'd do anything to help our beautiful planet, said Mom. Mermaids and mermen began to appear, bringing huge nets with them to collect all of the little litter that was lying on the seabed. I can't believe the things people threw away, said Marina, picking up an old soggy trainer and trying to force the end of her tail into it. I do find shoes funny. Humans just leave things on the beach, said Marina's mom, picking up an old deflated rubber ring. And then it gets washed away. I don't think they recognize where it goes. We need to tell them, I said. We can't, said Marina, but maybe you could. When enough of the rubbish had been collected, Dad, Mom, and I fly to shore. We led it all out of the beach, and as the night wore on, it grew into the huge pile, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, said Mom, when we have done as much as we could, people are going to have to take notice of this. They will, I said, thinking about what Marina has said. The sun has started to peep over the horizon now, and I know that humans would start to wake up soon. We flew back to the sea where Marina and my parents were bobbing with their heads poking out of the water. Thank you so much for your help, said Marina's dad. We couldn't have done it without you. The seabed looks so clean and beautiful now, smiles Marina's mom. The fish are so happy. Well, let's it stays that way, said Mom. I gave Marina a salty seawater hug. Maybe I will see you again, I said. We will be staying here for the rest of the week. Definitely, said Marina. I will call you on the jail phone. Chapter 6. Mom, Dad, Honey Blossom, Pink Rabbit, and I made our way back to the beach. Early morning rises and start to appear, and they were standing gazing up at the mountain of shining plastic and metal. Where's it come from? Asked the man, who was wearing a shirt with pink flamingos all over it. I just can't imagine, said the lady, in a big straight floppy hat. Well, it certainly spoils the landscape, said someone else. It does, doesn't it? Agreed Mom. And she began to tell people about how all the rubbish had been cleared up from the seabed, and I followed her, telling everybody who would listen about the little turtle that had got stuck in the fish wire. Well, that's awful, said the boy in the turtle patterned swimming shorts. I love turtles. Me too, said the lady in a pink bikini. Years ago, there used to be loads of them swimming round this beach. Maybe they will come back now rubbish has gone from the sea, said Mom. I hope so, squealed the little boy, jumping up and down with excitement. Maybe we could put up signs, said one of the hotel owners who had come outside to investigate, to remind people not to leave litter lying about. And to recycle, said someone else. I think that would be an excellent plan, smiled Mom. Nobody is perfect, but we could all try to be harder to look after our world. More and more holiday markers were standing up to come down to the beach now, and a few people were bringing wheelbarrows and carts with some rubbish to the recycling center. Suddenly, there was a shriek, and a lady with pink bikini began to jump up and down and pointing at the water. Look, she said. Look! In the sea was three big, beautiful turtles all happily swimming about. Wow! yelled the boy. Amazing, amazing! Just breathtaking, said the man in the flamingo shorts. Let's hope we are able to keep it clean enough for them to stay. Isn't nature incredible? Sighed Mom. I jumped up and down with excitement, and then ran back into our hotel to our room to find my cell phone tucked under my pillows. I wasn't sure how to work it, but I put my mouth to the opening and Marina, Marina. Then I put it in my ear and listened to the whoosh whoosh of the sea. Yes, came a whispered voice a few moments later. It's me, I said. I was calling you to ask about our Toto. I think I found some friend for him. How's he? How's his leg? Much better today, said Marina. He's swimming about happily in our hotel room, and I've been taking him up for air. Sea turtles can only hold their breath for a few hours at a time, you know. It was lucky that we found him in the fish wire when we did. It really is, I said, feeling sick at the thought of what might have happened. I think he's already be set free now, said Marina, sounding sad. I will miss him. Let's do it together, I said. Tonight, when the beach is quiet. All right, said Marina. I will see you then. This time, I made sure to tell Mom and Dad what I was planning to do. We'll watch from the hotel window, said Mom, to make sure you're safe. That evening, once everyone had left the beach, I went down there into the moonlight and waited for Marina to appear. It wasn't long before the water ripped and Marina's head popped out. She was holding something in her cupped hands. It was on our baby turtle. He looks so better now, and happier too. I saw some other turtles swimming in the bay earlier, I said. Big ones. Really? Said Marina. That's great news. Hopefully our turtle can go and join them, I said. Can I hold him to say goodbye? Marina gently tapped the turtle in my own cup hand, and I watched in wonder as he began to poke around my fingers. Good luck, little turtle, I whispered. You can let him go, said Marina, if you want. I lowered my hand into the water and let the tiny turtle swim with them. He seemed surprised at first to be out in the open waves and then excited. He began to paddle away from us, keeping his head close to the surface of the water. I watched as he swam farther and farther away, his shells shining in the moonlight. I hope he'll be okay, I said, as he disappeared into the distance. I'm sure he will, said Marina. I will make sure the mermaids here keep an eye on him, and hopefully the human will keep the sea clean too. That's the most important thing. We both smiled at each other, and I thought about what an exciting holiday it had been so far, and there were still 5 days to go. Shall we meet again tomorrow? I asked. Definitely, said Marina, and splashed her tail with glee. Tiny dolphins splayed into the air and sparkled like diamonds in the starlight. I will call you on the cell phone, she said.